We have brain fog, pain, back pain, stomach issues. A lot of things can be reversed with the right diet. They don't want you to know that, right? Because it's more profitable to treat you than to actually talk to you about the healing properties of just going on a raw diet or a raw fruit and vegetable diet or letting your body heal over time, because it's not a quick fix and it's not a quick buck. So they wouldn't tell you that, right?
We're having the uncomfortable conversation.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So you may be wondering, why did I eat raw fruits and vegetables only for 90 days straight? And that's a question that I definitely had to ask myself before I started. But I did start. And December 28th, 2021 was a day that changed my life, because that's the day I decided to embark upon this journey. Now, mind you, I'm an extremist to a certain extent. I put myself through a whole lot of different things, mind, body, spirit. I've stretched myself to many levels because I've always considered myself a truth seeker. I've never just taken what people have told me or what the world has told me. I felt like the last 2 years had been weird. We had environmentally weird, we had COVID, we had a lot of stress. I had been going through a lot of things. I had inflammation, I had joint pains from just working out for so many years. Just traumas in the air. I'm big on the frequency. I feel like the frequency of the world was just super dark and super low, and I was like, yo, I'm not showing up as my highest self right now, and I really just want a clean slate. And I knew to get to the root of anything is always internal. I don't want to put a band-aid on nothing. I'm like, yo, I'm going straight to the source, and our source is our cells. Our cells are our sources, are a source that run everything. See, over time, we accumulate stress, trauma, childhood trauma, disease, inflammation, and it all starts with our cells. And to get that out of our bodies, we have to cleanse our body on a cellular level. So I committed to doing that. And the only way to really cleanse your body on a cellular level is to fast and eat raw fruits and vegetables. I promise you. Like these teas and these detox teas and this and this that promise cellular cleansing, it doesn't work like that, because cellular cleansing is tough. But for the big, like what you want out of life, like you got to sacrifice. And that's what it came from. So I just really wanted a clean slate for myself. I wanted a clean slate for my body. I wanted a clean slate for my mindset, clean slate for my mental. And I'm gonna tell you the benefits and I'm gonna show you the pros and cons of all this, as we go into this video. But it wasn't all peaches and cream. But this pineapple shake is good. I ain't gonna lie to you. Disclaimer before we get into the video. There's a big difference between going raw vegan and going on a cellular detox diet, which is fruits and vegetables only, right? Raw vegan, you can still have like grains, proteins, and different things in your diet, breads and things of that nature, which is cool. It's healthy still. It's fruits and vegetables, and you have those other things. But raw vegan cellular detox is fruits and vegetables only, and that's what I ate. I ate fruits and vegetables only. So right now, like I'm eating strawberries, and this is a blend of pineapples, and like 90% of my diet is fruit. The other 10% was like romaine lettuce, cucumbers, things of that nature, right? So, as I stated before, detoxing your body on your cellular level allows you to get rid of a lot of those things. It takes time, but we have brain fog, pain, back pain, stomach issues. A lot of things can be reversed with the right diet. They don't want you to know that, right? Because it's more profitable to treat you than to actually talk to you about the healing properties of just going on a raw diet or a raw fruit and vegetable diet or letting your body heal over time, because it's not a quick fix and it's not a quick buck. So they wouldn't tell you that, right? So I'm gonna talk to you about my first week. My first week was crazy, I ain't gonna lie. Even with being vegan for 5 years, my first 7 days when I went to the raw vegan diet, by like day 3, I'm already having withdrawal symptoms. I'm feeling like a drug addict in bed. I'm tossing, I'm turning, my mind's going crazy, and it's just like, yo, what am I doing, right? I just wanted like a vegan burger because I had become commercialized vegan. I ain't gonna lie. I had took advantage of a lot of the commercial stuff that was coming out, and I wasn't feeling good about it. When I first started out being vegan, I was super healthy, and then as vegan expanded, I expanded with it. And I was like, yo, I want a vegan burger, I want some fries, I want something. I was pretty healthy, like 75% of my diet was healthy, but that 25%, I was craving that 25% that used to be unhealthy in week 1, right? So I'm going through it, I'm tossing and turning in bed. I don't know if I'm gonna complete it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking to myself, I don't know. Maybe I'll just, you know, do what I need to do and you know, figure it out. But week 1 was crazy. But I got through week 1, and what happened with week 1 is, it was a test, you know, it was like kind of the gateway to entry. Like, are you built for this? And I told him I'm built for it, you know what I'm saying? So I went through week 1. My skin also started purging probably by like week 1, between week 1 and week 2, which my body started dumping a lot of impurities. My bowel movements were a little crazier than anticipated. I was like, what is this? What's going on here? So, you know, a lot of things just started moving week 1 to week 2. And I'll tell you, between week 1 and week 2 is when you really start to see the results. And what I mean by results is you see that your body is going through changes. And a lot of people stop, you know, when they try this between week 1 and week 2 because it's a little uncomfortable. But that's where you need to understand that your body needs this, because if it starts to like move and do things you're not used to, your skin starts purging, your bowel movements gets a little crazy, you start having withdrawals in bed, that lets you know that, listen, this is actually what your body needs. It's a healing process, right? So don't run from it. I'm not going to go week to week. I'm just going to tell you, week 1 was crazy. Week 2 got a little better, and your body just starts to detox. One of the things you got to understand about our life and how we're set up is our bodies are made, we're habitual. Our bodies are habitual, so it gets used to doing things. So when you snap it right out of that habit and your body reacts, if it's reacting for your betterment, it may not feel good, right? So we got to start separating our feelings from what we're actually trying to accomplish. That's just in life, but that's also what you have to do when you go raw vegan fruits and vegetables. You got to separate your feelings, how you feel, from what you're actually trying to accomplish, right? If you believe in what you're doing. So I went through it for 90 days, and I'm here to talk to you about it. And a lot of people ask me, well, what was your spiritual reasoning beyond going raw vegan for 90 days? And I kept a lot of that to myself because I really am big on, you know, when you're going through a spiritual experience or you're doing something for a higher level to reach God or whatever you want to do to get closer to God, you know, keeping that sacred is very important. But for the nature of this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about it, but I'm not going to keep going into detail. What I realize is life is very layered, right? And once you seek the truth beyond this physical world within yourself, you know, the world is actually doing the same thing for you. It's starting to reveal things to you. So every aha moment, every coincidence that you have is actually the truth, right? And when you start to fast and remove things from yourself, remove impressions of the world, remove the hold that food has on you, it gives you a lot more energy for you to go really put it into yourself and really put it into that connection with God through your meditation, through your prayer, and things that you thought to be coincidence, you have to hold those as truth. So I had a lot more coincidences. My dreams got very more vivid, and I was really able to get to a space where I was no longer putting so much outward energy on the world, mainly in food, and that a lot of that energy came back to me, and my connection with my highest space, you know, just went through the roof. So I'm gonna tell you guys from like a scientific perspective how that kind of works. When you break down food all day, right, that's what your body does when you're eating regular food, and then you're thinking about food. What am I going to eat? You're breaking down food, and then you have to expel that food. That's energy, and we are energy. When you cleanse that entire system, meaning you're eating raw fruits and vegetables only, you get that energy and you get to put it back on yourself. Right? You get to put it back on yourself. You get to put it back in your spirit, and you get to be able to move in a little bit more of an intentional manner and show up in the world, or show up in your meditation, show up in your prayer, show up just in anything, however you want. So case in point, I'm gonna go a little different than that. My mental sharpness went to a whole another level, like, because I'm not thinking about food and I'm not processing food. So I'm super sharp in my decisions. I made some crazy business deals. I was able to think through them. I don't get stressed, being able to be super focused because my diet had changed, you know, my blood's better, you know, and I'm able to absorb more oxygen and also take on more oxygen because the fruits and the vegetables that I ate were a lot of water-based fruits. So I ate like a lot of strawberries, berries, this is pineapple, romaine lettuce, water-based vegetables. All those things allow your body to take on more oxygen, and oxygen is the key to killing anything that may lay dormant inside you, any stress inside you. Like, nothing can really move that's not for you inside of a oxygenated state. So the goal is to like flood your body with oxygen as well as you go through this process. So What you don't want to do when you eat raw fruits and vegetables is you don't want to just like eat dried fruits all the time and heavy bananas and stuff like that. You want to get yourself some watermelon, some blackberries, some strawberries, some peaches, some pineapple. You know, those other fruits are good, but you want your majority of the fruit to be water-based fruits. All right. So let me talk to you about weight loss. It's a big thing, right? Weight loss, I'm down 60 pounds right now. All right, started about 215, 220, I'm about 160 right now, 165, right? And a lot of people, you know, they ask me like, man, like how you gonna deal with the weight loss? Like how you lose, like how you okay with that? And I said, you know, weight loss is weight loss, man. That's just a thing, you know, and I can put weight back on. You know, this is not permanent, you know. Everything, the only thing that's promised is change. So I lost a lot of weight, and actually it was very humbling for me to lose the weight. Because imagine being a person that worked out, you know, 4 to 5 days a week for like 10 straight years, right? And, you know, before this, I have had many body types. I've been 210, you know, 10% body fat. I've been 190, 9% body fat. When I came into this, I wasn't really working out that hard. I was about 215, 13, 14% body fat. And I just start to slowly see yourself chip away. And I ain't gonna lie, for me and my human experience, that was a little humbling, you know, and I'm just like, wow, you know, it's going away. Now, my muscle mass has stayed the same. Like if I take my shirt off, it does look like I'm ripped a little bit to a certain extent, but I am smaller. But I'm gonna tell you something, right? But everything comes sacrifice. Anything that you want is sacrifice. If you look into the Bible, many sacrifices made, you know, for a higher space, a higher learning, a higher understanding of yourself, a higher connection with God, right? And I look at this as, I live this on a day-to-day basis, this sacrifice thing, right? So me being stripped of my physical attributes was actually a gift in itself, because it leaves nothing but my gift, which is talking to you right now. I have no physical attributes that I used to have. You know what I'm saying? Where people look at my body and say, oh man, dude, you're in shape. You know what I'm saying? I sat here, I ate fruits and vegetables for 90 days, no physical attributes, stripped myself down. You know, I didn't go out, no party, no friends like that. You know, I worked. And a stripping process is actually what builds you, right? Being able to strip yourself of everything you thought you was to see what you actually are is one of the super duper keys to life. I'm gonna say that again. Stripping yourself of everything you thought you were externally to find out who you are internally is your biggest key to life, period. And that's what I did, and that's what I continue to do with my life, you know. And it feels like, you know, when people have talked to me about, oh man, I liked you, how you look better and what you did, and why would you do this, and woo, woo. I got a lot of that. I mean, you know, especially on my Instagram, I had thousands of people, like, I think unfollow me after they saw my transformation. It was crazy, but I also had thousands more follow me, like 10 times more, you know, follow me and, you know, embrace me, right? And it let me know that the world is crazy to a certain extent. And when people comment on what they don't like about you or anything negative, they're just exposing the insecurities within themselves. And also, it let me know that, listen, I don't want people around me that just want me for my physical attributes. You know what I'm saying? They're nice, but if you understand what I'm saying, if you understand my truth, because I'm giving you my truth right now, that's what I want around me, right? And this diet actually exposed me to a whole different layer of people that knew that love me just for me, and I can reciprocate that energy. Now, mind you, my circle's super tight already. I already had it around me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already knew those things. So it wasn't about me finding those things in the real world. It was just letting me see that from a digital perspective, that the same principles hold true, right? So I love every single person that's embraced me on this journey. Every single person that's cheered for me, every single person that says, man, you look good before, but I love how you look now. I'm glad that you're internally healthy, you know, because that's what it's about. It's about internal health. And this diet is just kind of like it's like a mirror of how we, you know, go for everything externally, but they don't bring us any joy and any happiness. Would you rather be, let's say you were 220 pounds like me, let's say 13% body fat, but you wasn't feeling good, right? But you look good. Or would you rather be 160 pounds and you feel amazing and you understand that any given time now you can build back up from a clean slate? That's where I'm at right now. Like, I can snap my fingers and say, you know what? My health is priority. My mental state is priority. My spirituality is priority. And now I can build from a clean slate. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm clean. And then somebody was like, well, I don't know, man. Like, somebody said, I can't do that because it takes too much time. I said, time for anything is an illusion. You put your own importance on time. So what I say is, either you could look, when I decided to do this, I said I could either look at this as an interval of time, in my life, or I could look at this as something that I'm gonna draw out and say, man, I can't do this because it takes too much time. And what I mean by that is, now that I've done 90 days, I can look back on that and say, man, that was a monumental piece of time in my life where I accelerated exponentially because I decided to do so. If I didn't do it, I could still look good externally, and I still look good externally. Stop playing with me, man. But now I'm like, I never did it. I never cleansed. And I would never know what this space feels like, right? So I would tell you this. If you feel like you have more to offer to the world, if you feel like you have more internally, if you feel like your connection is off with your highest power, with your God space, you know, maybe some things internally you need to cleanse, and there's nothing external. There's no pill, there's no course, there's no Band-Aid that you're gonna put over an open wound. And I'm not saying you gotta go raw fruits and vegetables for 90 days, but I'm saying there are some things internally that you may wanna look at that's gonna help you get to that next level of life, and it's not going to be anything outside of you, right? And on a deeper level, when we talk about reaching our highest space or reaching God on our highest level, it's not external. Everything starts internal. And the number one way that you can show God that you're ready to be a part of whatever God has for you is to fast, pray, and sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Those are the key things, in my opinion, that shows God, listen, I'm here and I'm ready and I'm able. Like, I'm ready to not be of this world. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to do the things that you have asked for me. I've listened, I've sat in the dark spaces, I've meditated on it, and you've been calling me for a while to do this thing, and I'm ready to take on it right now. And if I don't do it, then I will stay at this level, and this level may be okay. But what you got from me is a whole nother level of experience that I'm ready to experience right now. And for me, this was that. It may not be this for you, but this was that for me, because I tell you, the space that I walk in right now and the space that I talk in right now, how you feel this energy right now, it's coming straight from this. It's coming straight from this. I promise you, this is what I was called to do, right? So if you feel like you have a calling upon your life, you got to answer the call. And it takes courage to pursue a life that's calling you. It takes a lot of courage, and a lot of people just let the phone ring all their whole life, and they get to their deathbed and say, damn, I should have answered that call. And me, I told myself, I'm never going to be one of those people that sit there and have the phone ringing and God's calling and God's calling and God's calling, and I'm just ignoring God's call. Because you actually suffer, because God ain't going to stop calling. He's not gonna stop calling. And guess what happens when he doesn't stop calling? He's gonna keep calling and calling and calling. Your battery will die, right? Your battery inside will die, right? It's a straight parallel, because there's a supernatural power in cleansing the temple. You know, I've always considered myself just a visitor to this world, and everything that I've accumulated is my luggage. So there's a supernatural power in cleansing and getting rid of that baggage and getting rid of that luggage. You know, I had to strip myself of many worldly accumulations, and it was easier said than done. It is easier said than done, because imagine this: I've accumulated a lot in a very short amount of time during my human experience. You know, I started my real entrepreneurial career at 25. By 27, 28, I had made my first $1 million. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, multi-million-dollar companies, and being able to do basically what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, you know, for a long time. And you accumulate a lot of things subconsciously. So I had to cleanse from that too. And I had already started that process a few years ago. So, you know, I'm not attached to things. You know, I did a video on why I left social media. If you check it out, it tells you why, you know, I don't buy things like that anymore. Like I focus on living well, eating well, cleansing my spirit, and if I like things, I get them, but I understand the experience behind them being human. You know, it's not like I gotta just be living like I need this, I need this, I need this, and I need this, right? And the reason why I'm talking spiritually right now, and I said I'm gonna keep it brief on the spiritual, but this is actually brief for actually how deep this is, so I'm not really going deep. This is, because I had to keep that to myself, but I will tell you my intuition is super strong. Gut health is clear. Like, your gut is your gut feeling, and it's your gut for a reason, but a lot of people can't get to their gut feeling because it's so compromised. Intestinal tract is lined with mucus and bacteria and things of that nature, so you can't really think at your highest space, right? So my gut is super clear, so my intuition is clear. Meditations are super vivid, like meditations are crazy. My dreams, I would say like around day 60, my dreams started getting crazy. Like, my dreams were super, super intense. I would say like 2 months in, they were super intense. Like, I was like in the dream. I said that, you know, I had this one dream, and it's a little personal, but I'll tell you like a little piece of it. But long story short, my grandmother was in the dream. My grandmother's dead, And long story short, she was holding my hand in a dream, and when I woke up, she was still holding my hand, like I felt it, and I was up, and my hand was warm, and I was like, yo, this is something different than I've experienced in a dream. Now, me personally, I've been through a lot of spiritual experiences, so, you know, I've dealt with spiritual warfare. I can see, and if you know what that means. And I don't talk too much about it, but we will. Once I hit 10K subscribers, we're gonna go deeper into those spiritual experiences. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Subscribe if you want to hear about those videos. You know, I've done many psychedelics, ayahuasca experiences in Peru, and I'll touch on that for a minute, but that's just different, you know, and those things have opened me up to a whole different world. And even without the psychedelic experiences, I still have been chosen in a different realm to be able to experience things on a plane of existence that most people don't even know exist. And it used to scare me, I will say, to a certain extent, because I wasn't understanding what was going on when I was younger. But as I've gotten older, it's just regular to me now. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. But if you know, you know. Great benefit of the 90-day fast or 90-day fruits and vegetables was just an internal happiness that I didn't know exists. I'm just super grateful at all periods of time. Like my internal ticker is just happy. Some days I just walk and I'm like, yo, I'm happy. And this is something, one of the problems with me being a student of human experience is understanding human experience from a student level and studying it, but also still being a human. So I have to have these experiences. So if I'm having anxiety, stress, depression, it kind of trips me out because I study it and I already know why it's happening, right? But so one of the things being a student of human experience and studying is I used to try to figure out how are these people internally happy. Like I used to see people, they used to be internally happy. It looked like the happiness was not apart from them. Like they didn't have to try to be happy. And I used to always want that within my human experience. And I didn't know how to get it, but what I realized is I did have a lot of childhood trauma, a lot of stressors and things in my human experience, a lot of accumulation. My life moved very rapidly, and I had lived many lives and many times, right? Quick. I always say I lived many lives in one lifetime, very quick. So with that, being a student in human experience, understanding it, but then having to live it, I still didn't have that quickness to, I would say, like that bridge. I had a little bit of a bridge to happiness. I was still happy, but it was a bridge to just being happy. But through this fasting experience, like my bridge is just like this. Like I wake up and I'm good, I'm happy, no stress, like, and it feels amazing, right? And because I feel like I'm actually one of those people that, you know, you can't just be like, yo, you can't like move me and say, hey, are you sad? I'm never really sad. Like or I don't have any like things to be going on, but I'm just like, yeah, it's good. I mean, like we good. What's at it? Like, what's up? So, you know, being mad is actually apart from me, or being depressed or having stress and anxiety is actually apart from me. I would have to step into that role. I don't feel like it can consume me. You know what I'm saying? So, I know that was a little deep, but if you know, you know. And if you don't know, rewind this video a couple of times and you figure it out. Day 90. Let's talk about day 90, right? So day 90 gets here, and mind you, day 90 is still a raw fruit and vegetable day because you got to complete day 90. So it was a breeze, you know. At that point, raw fruits and vegetables was law in my life. Like it's easy. I actually craved them, and I loved it. You know, I didn't crave regular food. I would say around day 70 something, 60, I would say about between day 60 and 70, I actually stopped craving regular food. Like I didn't really care for it. And day 90 came, and you know, I was super excited to get through the day. And then day 91, I had my first meal, right? And it was amazing because I was super excited for my first meal, but I didn't get what I thought I would get on day 1 or day 7. Like I thought on day 7, man, by day 90, I'm gonna be just going in, you know what I'm saying? But day 90, I didn't really crave regular food. Day 91, by day 91, I didn't crave regular food. And what I ended up getting was I got like a salad with like some peanut sauce in it. And it was just like a salad, and I forget, it had like some raisins. I forget, it was just like a salad. And then I did get some organic nachos though, with salsa and guacamole on it, because I love nachos. I hadn't eaten nachos in so long, so I got some vegan nachos, and I got like this salad. And it was pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, it was pretty good. It was a surprise. It had quinoa in the salad too, and it was warm quinoa. So that's my first time eating like warm food for a while, and it was good, and I loved it. But probably by like 20 minutes in, like I was like, like I didn't really care for it anymore. And actually didn't end up eating the whole thing. I actually went home and had some fruit. And the fruit actually was like, I was like, oh my God, wow. I was like drinking the fruit, and it was like, Did that just happen on cam?
Strawberry on your tooth,
All right, so now we got stain on my shirt. I just went home and got some fruit, and the fruit actually satisfied me way more than the meal. So, you know, I think my body was still used to the fruit, but what you gotta understand is when you start to cleanse your body on a cellular level, and you start to put that good food into your intestines and things of that nature, and it starts to process it. When you start to just throw other things down there, it's not going to be satisfactory to your body. And then I would tell you again, it's like the next day, I went hard. So I didn't even want this food from I would say from an internal space. From a mental space, I wanted it. I didn't really want it internally though, but I went mentally. I got like vegan pizza, a vegan burger, like a lot, and I just ate it all, right? And I ain't gonna lie to you, it was a bad decision, because that food really tore me up inside. I felt like my stomach was just burning all night. I felt uncomfortable. I got brain fog right away. And I was like, this ain't it. This is not it. But I wanted to see, I wanted to experience, and I got the answer to the question. So what I decided to do, honestly, is I'm still doing raw fruits and vegetables right now, because I'm having a raw vegan challenge. If you're watching this video, of May in 2022. And I'm starting a raw vegan challenge with a lot of people that want to understand the raw vegan lifestyle. So you can either go raw vegan, or you can do the detox method inside my raw vegan challenge. So there should be some information on how to join in this video, in the description of this video. So I'm gonna bring people along the journey, you know, just to help them out, you know. But I decided that I'm gonna do raw vegan all the way until June of this year, and then I'm gonna switch to alkaline cooked food, and then raw vegan probably like 60-70% of the time, and I might have like one cooked meal, or maybe just a couple cooked meals a week, but it'll be extremely alkaline. There won't be any processed meats, plant-based meats or anything like that. So that's where I'm at now. The one thing that I wanted to touch on too was the mental aspect. One thing I did realize about doing this fruit and vegetable diet, because when I did crave regular food in the beginning, a lot of times we have this response mentally that we really aren't having, but because we are so addicted to the chemicals and the marketing and things of that nature, it makes us think that we want these foods, but our body really doesn't need them. So it's a response induced by the addiction that we have to the chemicals of the food, not necessarily the foods. And when I did eat that first raw vegan burger on day 90, man, that thing just tastes like salt and chemicals. It didn't really even taste like anything. Like that food didn't taste it. My taste buds don't even taste that type of food. And I will say one of the biggest things that I've experienced after going raw vegan is I like a lot more foods that I didn't know I liked. A lot of fruits that I didn't know I liked. A lot of vegetables that I didn't know I liked. I just be eating onions raw. Like I never ate onions raw. Tomatoes were cool here and there, like tomato sauce. I wasn't really a tomato guy. But a lot of fruits I'm just open to eating, and they're good. Like zucchini and squash. Like I could never eat zucchini and squash before I was raw vegan, and after the 90 days, I love zucchini and squash. So I'm just opening up my palate to these healthy, living, breathing things that are helping me like just heal. And this process has been amazing, man. So, you know, if raw vegan or cellular detox is something that you feel like you need to do, then, you know, I'm just telling you from experience that I've done it. If you watch this video, you know, I have a lot of information about it, and I really just, you know, I bless you, you know, with that journey if you decide to, you know, try it after this video. And if you need any help, you know, you can join me for my raw vegan challenge. There may be a downloadable link to a raw vegan guide that I put together as well. Just click the link somewhere on this video, and that's pretty much it, man. As you know, what I stand for: God, energy, elevation, and that's the G code. We're gonna roll to 10K, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.